Right, welcome back everybody. This is Salvador from the Science Workshop, and today we have the Leprechaun trap. So, St. Patrick's Day is coming up, and we want to protect our loot and our treasure. So we're gonna build this thing right here. This has got a, oh, you see it working right there. It has two triggers, right? The first one is weight, right there. The second one is this little lever that we built right here. And that drops this cup onto your little treasure chest right here. And when something like a little leprechaun pulls this, closes, and here's this dude coming up, right? Set it all up. There it is. When the little leprechaun reaches to pull this gold piece right here, it triggers everything. And there it is. Alright, let me show you around the leprechaun trap. So here you have a cardboard ramp. On the inside's pretty empty. It's just a box, right? You have your lever right here. This is your platform. You can see how it's on a straw and a skewer. Then on this side over here, you have your trigger right here for the trap door. When this is lifted up, it releases this piece right here and it lets it drop. Then you have your other lever up here. There's your main one. It's held on by a clothespin. Then you have your little cup. See the cup is on a straw. Another skewer. And that's kind of it. It's a little intricate, but none of these steps are too hard. Right. Alright, so let's build this thing. We're gonna start with our box. I'll move this over. We'll start with a small box like this. Let's get some hot glue. Okay, so now you're gonna grab your box, you're gonna tilt it on the side, and you want to cut out this top piece right here. So move in about an inch, right? Cut across like that. Same thing on this side. And then you just follow the red line on each side. And you cut out that piece. Okay, so your box should look like this. Okay, so next up, we're gonna take our cup, our straw, and our big tongue depressor. Make sure you don't use the small one. The small one's for later. So you take your scissors, and you'll punch a small hole so the straw can fit in it, right in the center of the cup. Then you take your straw, push it through, like that. And you hold it down here, and you start gluing all the way around. Just like that, okay? Then you make sure you can lay this down and you hold it right in the middle. You let the glue cool, and then I'll show you the next step. Alright, once your glue cools, you'll grab your scissors and you're going to cut the straw right on top of the cup. You'll leave a little bit sticking out. Just like that. And your cup's ready. Okay, so next up you're going to need a large tongue depressor. You need a skewer, the leftover straw from your cup, and 2 index cards. So you grab the cards, kind of line them up like this. You grab your tongue depressor. You make sure the cards fit right under it. Like that. Then you get some glue. Just like that. And you put it onto one side of the cards. Just like that. Then you grab your leftover straw. And you want to estimate where the middle is. So I think the middle is right around here. So I'm gonna put a bunch of glue there. And okay, once that's all cooled down, it should look something like this. Put a little bit more glue on this side. Okay, so next up, grab your skewer and your box. And you estimate the middle. You can use this to help guide you. Make sure that it fits in here really well. So it looks pretty good right there. This skewer is going to go through the straw, and so it's going to hold this up. Let's grab a box. Make sure you don't poke anybody with this or yourself. Just gonna push it all the way through and to the other side, just like that. Then you take it out halfways. You can weave your base through here. There it is. So you'll notice something right now. You'll see that it's not level. Right, one side's heavier than the other. That should be okay the way this trap works. But if you want it to close back up after it triggers, you can get something maybe like a bead, right? And you can start messing around with the position and messing around with the weights. You can add weight on this side. And you'll see that it starts going this way. Look at that. You can rip it off if it's too heavy. You can put a lighter one or move it closer to that's the fulcrum, right? Yeah, move it closer to the fulcrum. And you'll see how it starts to level off. That's a lot nicer there. Okay, that looks pretty good. So for the next step, you'll need your popsicle stick and your cardboard cutter. So on whichever side your stick ends up on, this big tongue depressor, you want to make a little incision on the side of your box, so that your tongue depressor kind of lands on top of this popsicle stick. Like that, right? And that's going to be your trigger. That's going to be what releases it. Right? Just like that. So you'd like this part right here. I'm going to make a little incision right there. And just to be safe, I'm going to point it downwards. slide your popsicle stick through it. This thing's in the way. Okay, and now you can test it. You put a little bit of pressure right here and lift up. And it should trigger. That. You'll feel it releasing. Okay. So next up, we'll need our paint paddle, our second skewer, our treasure chest or salsa cup, our clothespin, and our half paint paddle. So we'll start with the big paint paddle. You want to put some glue on this and glue it onto the same side that you have your popsicle stick. So put some glue that on right there. Alright, we'll grab our salsa cup, and you can use your scissors or your cardboard cutters to make a small hole right at the center of it. Just like that. A little bit bigger. You want it big enough where the skewer can fit through. Then you grab this, and then you grab your skewer, put it through your salsa cup, and you stick it right in the middle of this edge right here. And this is adjustable, you can move it around. Maybe it's too close, it's too far away. Right. You can reposition it. I'm gonna try that for now. You grab your,
lever.
Main lever, yeah, it's all levers, huh? Yeah. Also, I'm not putting the string on until afterwards because it seems like it'd be easier to gauge what length you need.
Yeah, right.
Alright, so then you grab your, oh, my brain farting the whole time.
Clothespin.
You grab your clothespin and your half paint paddle. And for now, we're gonna position it here. You can always adjust all these things. You can make this longer, you can make this shorter, make it taller, drop it down. However, as long as it's able to tilt and act like a lever, it'll be okay. Okay, so how is this all gonna be working together? Right, we're gonna use a string, a piece of string. So each one of your models is gonna vary because of all these little factors of where you put everything on. So just grab a nice, long piece of string, and you can start by gluing it onto the top of your popsicle stick. Right at the end. And then you pull it up to your main lever up here. You make sure your lever is level. Make sure your lever is level, and you want a little bit of slack, not too much though. And then you glue it up right on top, just like that. Then you grab another piece of string, kind of estimate how long it has to be on this side of the lever. This looks pretty good right here. Just like that. You can grab your favorite bead, whatever that may be. Use this pink one right here. And you tie it onto the end of the string. glue this onto this end of the lever. Okay, so now let's test this. We're gonna grab our cup with the straw in it. We put it right over the skewer. And what you want to happen is for this cup to fall down, cover up your treasure, and you want this to also trigger this lever right here that releases this trap door. So here, I'm gonna grab my little model. You're all gonna make a little elf creature like this one. I'll show you how to make this, but let's test this out first. So let me show you the hair trigger. So a hair trigger is, let's see, a hair trigger is something that takes minimal effort to happen, to trigger, right? So if you have a trigger with a huge piece over another huge piece like this, it's gonna take a lot of force. There's a lot of friction there, right? And it's not gonna be able to release fast enough, right? When you're making traps or making anything that involves precision and timing, the smaller the contact patch, the smaller the contact area, which is this edge and that edge, the better. So if you just put your stick right there, it'll be like a lot less force, right? So when it's like this and this triggers, it means that it's going to drop your lever down like that, instead of something huge that's like blocking it. And that's a whole lot more clearance that it needs. This is my brain count. Hopefully the kids understand. Okay, so then you grab your little leprechaun. You put this dude right up here. Make sure your trigger is set up, just like that. And the leprechaun's gonna go reach for the gold, and there it is. You can see that motion. This lifting up causes this lever to lift up in response. And when you reset it, it all comes back, right? There's that action right there. And then this one, very similar. You have a hair trigger right here. It's just barely on the edge. And once this drops on even a little bit, it allows the cup to go down. So you can visualize the hair trigger a lot easier up here. Just like that. If this is moving, you can always glue it down. So I'm actually gonna glue this thing down. Now that I like where it's at, I think I'm gonna glue it down and make it a little bit more stable. Alright. So one more time, the hair trigger. You can see how there's barely any contact between the cup and the stick. You see that? It's the slightest touch made it fall. Let's make it a little bit less sensitive. Let's see that right there. Very nice. Okay, the last two steps are making the ramp. So we grab these pieces right here, and you're gonna want to bend the top of one of them like that, just a little bit, not too much. Grab your glue gun. Grab your glue gun. Some glue on this. Put it right on this edge. You notice it's not long enough, so we use this other extra piece. Glue that on top of this. And the very last step is to make your little leprechaun. So you have a poker chip, you have a bunch of pom-poms, a cork, and you just slap it all together. Make it look nice and presentable and mischievous. So then this guy's gonna come back up here. Try and reach for your gold. And when he pulls it, it's gonna trigger. All right, have fun. All right, one last thing is this tip right here. See, it's kind of dangerous, so you can, this tip right here is kind of dangerous, so you can hold on to it, grab your scissors, and just work away at it. Or you could also break it off. And you take this and toss it in the trash. And that should be it.